right? This is Ukraine, and that man is being dragged off to the front lines. This is his girlfriend trying to stop it. And they're using our tax money to keep this war going. They'll probably be dead within the next few months, and their life is ruined. I've shown many videos like this in the last 2 years. So I wanted to actually highlight these videos because I don't think a lot of people have seen them. But there's clips of just Ukrainian men and they'll be dragged off the street and sent to the front line. This, for example, is a father with his wife and his child walking with a stroller, and he gets picked off. And every time we send money over, this war is prolonged, and more people like this will end up dead.
All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters that's out there. Unto the foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. So the question should be, is this going to happen here in America? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. This will happen in America. Now, at first, when I first saw this, I was like, what the, it's one of those situations. Like, what the F? What am I watching? And you let it play out. So in Ukraine, what they're doing, since they're running out of soldiers, they're going around deliberately picking off every single man that they can find to fight this war. Now, the irony of it all, they have a population of a whole bunch of women that are single now, and no one is there to protect them. All right. That's why that woman was crying and screaming her head off. And somebody might say, why he didn't leave the country? They can't leave the country. When the war started, how many years ago? 4 years, 3 years? I'm not too sure. I can't remember. I think 4 or 5 years ago. I think so. When it first started, people try to flee, and they stopped men at the border. And there was a couple of African students, and they got snatched up. They were students on a visa, and they got snatched up in the war. They don't talk about that no more, do they? All right. And then Ukraine, they're extremely prejudiced. They don't care about dark-skinned people. So here you have it, like in a foreign country where they care less about your well-being, but they want you to fight their war. And like the man said, they're prolonging this war for so long because they've been supposed to have lost badly, but they prolonged it for so long by doing this. So going to this current situation right now in the Middle East, and we haven't even got a draft yet. They didn't even send the boots to the ground. Let's do the math here. There's millions of people, a million man army in Iran, a population of 90 million people who are galvanized. You want to look up the word galvanize. It means to come together. People that are galvanized through religion, through tragedy, through everything, that is willing, all right, willing to fight against the American soldiers, which might I add, I said the millions compared to thousands of soldiers. Now you could be an expert, mathematical expert, a war, expert, and so forth. That doesn't add up. If you said tens of thousands versus a million, it doesn't add up. They're not winning this war. Matter of fact, there's a Iran could already do a victory lap around this whole shit because they're not winning. America lost. America has lost. That's why they're saying Pete Hegseth and Trump not went to blows, but he was threatened to fire him because things are not going accordingly. You can't bomb a country to smithereens and thinking that you're going to win. When that country is resilient, it was built to be resilient, and it was awaiting for you. So this was not a well planned execution. Luke 14 and 20. Nope. What is in this chapter? Luke 14. Verse 31. It says, or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000. When you look up the word consultative, is I don't know how to say it in the Greek. It says to deliberate, oneself, consider, to take counsel, resolve. This is why you have in the White House a big table like the Knights of Camelot table, and their job is to tell the president how are they going to win this situation, and they have to assess every matter, put every scenario in display for the CEO of the corporation to figure out how he wants to go, how he wants to move ahead and move forward, or do we move forward or do we move back? But these devils and that pride, they're not gonna do that. All right, they're not gonna do that. And hearing that woman and squeakingly sound and sounding like a fucking a, a banshee because the love of her life or the man that could get her out of a situation was taken from her. And so they actually made a unit of soldiers to go out there to pick people up. That's recruiting to the extreme level. It says, or while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassage and desired condition of peace. So he have to consider everything. And Trump been playing a game of, uh, damn, I just had it in my head. Let's make a deal. That's what he's been playing all along. Let's make a deal by him, and he's playing this game by himself. Because realistically, the Iranians are not trying to hear it because they're enraged, they're emboldened to do the things that they're doing. Because every time they did sit in the table with them, it was a complete opposite. Psalms, I always get these two mixed up. So 55, no, 50 and 16, I think, or 20. It's 55. Psalms 55 and 20. He said, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. So Trump, let's make a deal. Every time somebody gets to do a deal with, try to do a deal with him, he pulls the rug. So now the egos is pumping, pride is there. He's trying to narrate it, trying to make the story his story so that way he could look big and bad, but nobody's coming no more. All right. So they are going to the extreme level. It's like in Ukraine, they would it will be done here in America. Because a lot of Americans, selective, not selective. Oh, they're not just gonna go for the poor. All right. They go for middle class as well. I gotta put that out there. They're not going just for the poor. They're going for the middle class as well. Either you volunteering or they're gonna get you. All right. They're gonna get you. They coming. This they don't have the standard to fight this war. Can they get 1 million people? Yeah. Those people won't survive. The ground troops cannot go in all during the summer. Summertime will be suicide. Fall, depending, winter is most likely the best bet. But unlike here, mainly in the East Coast, I'm thinking of, you have what you call it, 4 different seasons. In the Middle East is not really. There's no such thing as fall and winter. I mean, fall and spring as that. There's spring, obviously, but it's extreme. It's 3. There's spring, summer, and what you'll call it. Well, we'll call it fall. They'll call it winter for them. And when it gets cold, it gets cold. Like that cold is no joke. So they're gonna have to choose when they're gonna send these children over there. Oh, sorry, the kids over there. All right, they're gonna make a decision to draft a whole bunch of people to be sacrificed over there, and it's not gonna just stop in the first wave. It's gonna be they're gonna be in desperate mode. Okay, that's when everybody start bitching up. Everybody's gonna start bitching up. All these so-called tough guys, these people podcasters, these people that be in the internet, pro America, pro this, pro that, they're gonna be bitching up. They're gonna find every excuse in the book. They're not gonna go for no veterans because veterans they're not right in the head. I mean, that's the best way I could say. They're not right. They're not serviceable. You new young pups, you YNs, you YWs. All right, you gamers, you weed smokers, and y'all gonna get pulled up out of there, and you will be thrown in the mix. All right, you'll be thrown in the mix. You'll be like this. This girl thinks she has. Oh boy, I hate when it does that. Slovakia, if the volume went down. Yeah, that girl thought she thought she had a man. He wasn't gonna go nowhere. He was like, yeah, he's getting his thing on, and it's just like, nope, go out there. All right, show no mercy. That's gonna be recruitment. I remember back in the day, the recruiters would come to the high schools and so forth, and try to talk you into it. All right, recruiters would show you all. If you ever been to a recruiting station, they'll tell you all the materialistic things that you can do because their job is to recruit you. Their job is to get you into the military by any means necessary. They'll sell you a fucking dream. And their job is not just to get you in the military, it's for them to remain out here so they don't have to go back into the force. All right. So the more recruits that they can get, more they get to stay. They don't have to go back out there. All right, that's the selling. They're the salesmen of the military. Well, the salesmen are going to be physically grabbing mofos up and tossing them to the frying pan. And what's going to leave a result is this is my favorite. I love bringing this up because you can see it clear as day. For you scallywag, you hoes out there thinking like, you got so much options. You're the prize. Um, Men are begging at your door. You get to pick. They all shoot for the same type of guy. This, that, to the third. Well, sweetie, there's gonna be a lack of men real soon. Shit, there's gonna be a lot of a lack of women too. All you so-called bull dytes, you dytes, you women that think you men, y'all gonna be taken too. All right. It says 2 Ezra 16:33. The virgin shall mourn having no bridegroom, the women shall mourn having no husbands, and their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall the bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So in the war, men are going to be taken, and in the war, and who remains in America, they're going to be taken by the wars in the streets, where being emotional is going to get you destroyed. And that moment, in that time, women are going to realize the importance of men. It's kind of sad to really think about how the Lord created men and women to be together, and how, let's be realistic, a country that is brand spanking new is trying to reinvent the wheel. They're trying to reinvent the wheel and tell the world how things should be done, and how the new ways is the way. So all this animosity between men and women is in America. All right, is that philosophy that poisoned the minds of the people. And since it poisoned the minds of the people, there's a judgment for that. But before that, Isaiah 29:16. Matter of fact, I started 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, which is talking about the illuminated ones, the Freemasons, and so forth. They'll lie to your face and tell you, "Oh, we're not a part of this, or we're not trying to do nothing." It's a club that, which is, everybody knows the club, but they can't speak about it because they told you can't speak about it. And anybody that um, knows about it or part of it, they try to tell you it's a hush hush thing, and everybody knows exactly what they're doing. The secrets are out. There's no more of a thing where you quite you got to figure it out. You got to look deep. The Lord is exposed to everything, so everything that's being done is orchestrated to be done the way it is. Knowing, I don't know how true it is, they run out of ammo, whatever the case may be. Knowing that they have to send forth men, women, and children, sorry, men and women into this war. Why women is part of it? Because women equal rights, and women are stress relievers. It's, in the World War I, World War II, women were nurses. That was their job in the military. Now they want to be in the forefront, and this is all orchestrated by the elites, which is the Lord putting these thoughts in their minds to make this thing happen. He's all about to get rid of a majority. He's about to destroy America. He's about to destroy America. He's about to destroy America's army. Okay? It says, and their works are in the dark. They say, who seeth and who knoweth. So the elites, they no longer have to go through the Bohemian Grove and make it be known. The WEF is telling you consistently every day, every moment of the day, how they plan to overthrow the world. How they literally planning to overthrow the world. And then passing laws and so forth to make it happen. Who said it? I always get it wrong. I think it's Kissinger. I said Rumford last time, but it was Henry Kissinger. Um, Military personnel is, I forgot how he said it. Damn, the military men are nothing or something like that. I'm not gonna look it up. I done said it several times before. I just could never, you know. But they see the military as just jawheads, just meant to be sacrificed. While the men out there go out there, put their life on the line for, so they believe in a greater purpose. But all they doing is fighting for the bankers. That's all they doing. Surely you're turning things upside down should be esteemed that the pot is clay. So everything is turned upside down. You got women on pedestals, men are beneath in this weird society. But now everything's turning right side up. Women think that they need to be worshipped. They want traditional men while they be modernized women. All right, they want it all. But this fake version of things is gonna be esteemed as a potter's clay, meaning a pot is easily broken, and the society is going to be broken. Is being broken, and is being broken as I'm speaking. The debt is, I believe, they said is over 40 trillion by now, which is quick, fast, and this administration is asking Congress for more money in order to prolong this war. Yet can't even feed the average person. But all this was part of the plan from the very get go. Okay, and everything that's built, it was built. This fragile society is weak. That's why they said it should be esteemed as a potter's clay. They turn everything upside down, which when everything goes haywire, everything is going to go back to its order. Women are going to go back into their order. Men, the strong men are going to be lifted up, while the weak men are going to be destroyed. Survival of the fittest, right? Effeminate men are going to die. Weak men are going to die. Even men of strength, men that got bodies, they're going to be taken out as well. And what's really going to rise to the crop, to the top is the creme de la creme, the cream on top of the cream, which is the elect. All right, the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, that's what's going to um, come on, come off top, and it's not going to be because they height, they finance, or if it the men parts. All right, this is how the society and women judge the matter. It's not because of that, because the spirit of the Lord is going to be with them. Okay, and if a brother or sister got to get called to that war, they still have nothing to worry about, because if they are the elect, the Lord's going to get them out of that situation. All right, the Lord's going to get them out of that situation. What they're going to be calling for is what we always thought: the YNs. All right, those who are, I think somebody broke it down what the kind of personnel they need. Computer personnel, they need, obviously healthy people. They're gonna need a lot of things, and it's they're gonna get their requirements and then some. The people are gonna be sent into that war, and they're gonna be war in the streets of America. There will be protests. There will be a whole bunch of stuff. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say him that framed it, he have no understanding? So the Lord created man for their purpose, for this great battle. All right. The Lord is gathering everybody, all personnel, all right, to them. He's mustering all personnel. Uh, Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nation, that I may assemble the kingdoms. And part of the assembling of the kingdoms is the roll call, it's the muster. All right. People are being woken up to be sent. And one way or another, each and every last individual out there is going to be sent. All right. They said they're going to send the migrants who's going to try to work to get their visa, to get their citizenship. All right. Some personnel is going to have their family hostage to be sent out there. I'm just me. I'm just saying it. But those that took that shot, I believe somehow, some way, people are going to go into the military to just to remain alive. There's a lot of variables that's going to take place real soon. A lot of variables. But the Lord created it so like this. This is all a part of the masterful, great plan of Yahushua. All right, to get everybody, all the undesirable souls, and send the asses so they could be meat for the for the predators. All right. So yeah, it's gonna happen. And a lot of them are gonna find excuses. A lot of them are gonna do whatever it takes not to go, but it doesn't matter. Jeremiah 51:30, I believe. Says the mighty men of Babylon have forbore to fight. So these so-called tough guys, these so-called killers, men with switches and all that, they're gonna try their best not to fight. All right, they're gonna try their best not to get in, but they will get in. Either way, fight over there, fight over here. The fight is coming to you, every single last one of us, straight up, because no denying it. There's no avoiding it. The fight is on. The fight is on. It says they have remained in their holes. Hey, just the same way they shown that in Ukraine. All right, Ukraine. They show you that there was a lot of men that didn't make the first cut, didn't survive, and the way they forcing it is just hilarious. They just forcing it and forcing it. It's just hilarious. Yeah, but they're not gonna want to go out there. But nothing else they can do. It's not Esau, it's not the elites, it's Yahweh Shai that's commanding them to go. So they will go. And once they go, they ain't coming back. So with that being said, shalom up to the elected nations. Shalom.